Welcome to the Fantasy Golf Bag Podcast, presented by FantasyGolfBag.com, your number one source for the most in-depth PGA Tour analysis in the daily fantasy and sports betting world. Each week, our experts will discuss everything you need to know, from the course preview and key stats to top plays, fades, and strategies. Whether golf betting, grinding out cash games, or playing for a big GPP win, our team has you covered. Let's get after it.
Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Golf Bag Podcast. I am Axis, and I am joined today by Sky of the Golf Gurus to talk about the Open de France. What's going on, Sky?
What's up, man? It's good to be back. It's been a little while since we've had our tag team here for the Euro slates, but been a good little fall and ready to keep it going. And another great course, phenomenal course.
Yeah, been riding solo the last couple few, and it'll be nice to hear Good one. Been riding solo, and yeah, it'll be nice to not have Barra hound me for not having friends for once. So.
You know, if he's going to keep taking our money in those top dollar contests, it's going to be a tough ride.
Oh, I got him last week. He's just lucky I didn't. You did. Last week. Just really quick, if you don't want to hear anything about the Italian Open, go ahead and hit your skip 30-second button once or twice. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about Guido and Robert McIntyre for a quick second. It's kind of heart-wrenching. Although Guido got us through for DraftKings purposes and Bob, but, is Bob going to win?
So I was looking, we've bet Bob and we've bet Guido, obviously, for it feels like a million weeks in a row at this point. When the fields
every
are
week
set,
since Kenya.
Yeah.
Except, I think there was one we didn't because he was 40-1. Similar to this week.
Yeah, so it's like every time, it's the first two spots in my lineup, we're good to go. I mean, Bob, what is it now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top fives on the season, or top sixes. And, we just, it's got to be there on a Sunday. What was interesting is he got through on the Challenge Tour. I did some little digging on it last year, to advance to the European Tour without winning on the Challenge Tour either. So he's just the epitome of consistency. But those outright numbers, I mean, after
Great.
another,
he's the
after another
left-handed
four,
Matt Kuchar. Cool.
Although
he won a lot this year.
He's going to start being 33s in these Rolex events. You know what I mean? He was already 50 last week and performed. He would probably be odds-on favorite, maybe 12-1 this week in a field like this. He truthfully would be, which is,
See, that's what sucks. We're not going to, we were on him in Denmark. I was. I don't remember if you were.
Yep.
We were
when he lost to Byrne. Yep.
We were on him at the British Masters where he got second.
Yep.
And like you said, we bet him most weeks too, but I just feel like we got screwed. It's going to be like when Campillo finally won and he was 18, after all these top fives.
Yep.
And it's God damn, because I'm not going to, knowing me and how I bet outrights, I doubt I'll be on him when he's 20-1. So
you just, at that point, yeah. I mean, we've cashed a couple top fives, which has probably helped, offset there. But I mean, same thing with Guido this week. It's 50-1, that's
at a course that doesn't suit his game.
No, and you don't hear us much talking bad about Guido. I mean, it would have been, last week would have been probably the most legendary win if he could have pulled through. I mean, he was never there. Top 20 maybe, but we got Feinberg, we got Pat riding. I mean, we would have seen periscopes of Jeff at 4 a.m. in the Vegas clubs chanting Guido. That would have been the week. But
it's always next year.
There is, and we got to be there. We're gonna have to be at these.
There's always Rome Ryder Cup in 2022.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt, and we're gonna have it's gonna be glorious.
Yeah, so we'll segue from there into the Open de France. Speaking of Ryder Cups, Le Golf National, known for where America just got trounced, but because of how popular the Ryder Cup is, there are a lot of articles on this course. So if you're not familiar with it, feel free to Google it, and you can find pretty well anything you want. There's a lot of great articles out there, especially after it happened and kind of dissecting what happened. And reading a few of them, it is very apparent America lost because they're off the tee game, and specifically not hitting fairways. And the Golf National is very penal off off the tee if you don't land in the fairway. It was about 15th Club said of just about 0.58 strokes per missed fairway it cost you, which is insane. The PGA Tour doesn't come anywhere near that with any of their venues. Maybe a U.S. Open or two. I don't have that to dig through. Didn't bother. But anyway, not too many PGA guys here. But just to say, most weeks we don't talk about accuracy too much. This will be the week that we talk about weighting accuracy, and specifically weighted driving accuracy. Don't just look at guys who have played courses where everybody hits 70% of fairways. That's not going to help you. If they aren't beating the field, they're not better than the field at driving accuracy.
Yep, I agree completely with you, where it really, and that's why we talked about Guido not fitting, ultimately it's fairway or you're going to have to, struggle to get par if you're in the rough. So, I mean, the pinpoint irons, that you can take advantage of from the fairway, I think there's some larger greens that, we really need to really, get to the first shot in the fairway and take advantage from there. It's as simple as that on this course.
Yeah, so we'll just dive into it. If we start up top, there's quite a handful of golfers above 10K, which is ludicrous because this field is not that good. But
they're jamming them in, though, because it's like nothing's above 11 either,
Yeah, Noren Max is at 11. Then you have Van Rooyen, Schwab, Peters, Luton, Jordan Smith, and that's your Jordan Smith's 10K. So they crammed all these guys in, all six between 11K, and they go off the odds. But, I mean, starting up here, I'm on three of them. I want to get on EVR again. I was on them last week. I don't know. The irons just aren't quite there for me in the last 20 rounds for them. So I think for me up here, could go to Schwab again at 10.6. I'm personally going to avoid Noren. I know he's played very well here, won here. I didn't really love what else it left me, especially 11. Like, I honestly don't know if I'll get to too many of these guys in general, but if I was going to, Schwab and Juiced for me.
Yeah, it would be, if I'm adding a third one to make a little tree up there, it would be Jordan Smith. He's finally found it once again after these last few weeks. He was awesome to start the season, went in a huge funk, and now, I believe his last few times out, he's gone. Last week he was up there for a little bit. He was 24th, 5th, 24th after at least three missed cuts in a row. So he's finding it a bit more, really good at avoiding bogeys. He would probably be my number one. I mean, it feels like for Schwab that he's been so close. He's another one. We haven't really bet him, and I don't know why. Statistically, he hasn't always been there, but he's had really consistent finishes when he's making the cut. But 20-1, you can't touch those type of things. So, yeah, I would say Smith, Juiced, Schwab would probably be my top three. And Noren won here last year too.
And here's what's crazy about Schwab. I can't bet him at 20. He's never won. And he's not that he's been around forever. 2017 is when he started really playing, as far as ranking in the official tournaments. But he has so many top 10s in his last 5, 8th, 2nd, 28th, 61st, 4th.
Yep.
I mean, he's still only World 124. He started way back. He's springing up there, but kind of hard in some of these crappy Euro events.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, he's hot. I can't, like you said, can't bet him at 20-1, so I guess the exposure would have to come on DraftKings.
And if we're likely, single entering, especially with these contests quite a bit smaller this week, you're running one lineup, it's probably one of those,
when
if
you
not
don't fill Rolex Series event GPPs. Couldn't even fill them.
I'm expecting a Nick Ferrone tweet to DraftKings assists.
Apologizing?
I mean, he was very passive aggressive, and I think it kind of worked, and then we fell flat. So Nick, you got to pick us up on this.
Ugh. Anyway, yeah. So now we're back to playing trash GPP sizes. But so skipping into the 9K range, Kinault 9.8, Fisher 9.6, Dietrich, Hotfire, Kurt Kitayama 9.4. I say hot fire, just played well in his last Euro events, and obviously to start the season, he's trying to chase Bob down for that Rookie of the Year. Horsfield 9-3, Keimer 9-2, Surrey 9-1, Victor Perez 9K. And before I jump into really too much into this group, I just need to mention poor Martin Keimer. I mean, the guy was on absolute fire running up to the Open. He wasn't in the Open. Story had it. He thought he was in the Open. We were talking about him then. I mean, he was just crushing it, flirting with winning, flirting with getting in. I think you said he missed it by one person.
Yeah, he was there that week just waiting to get in, and no one withdrew.
And honestly, it must have stole his soul, because since he didn't get into there, miscut, 60th, miscut. I guess he had a 30th of the Barracuda, which is pretty sad for Martin Keimer.
Yeah. I mean, he was one of the
nothing to write home about.
Mm-hmm.
So, man. And now he's sitting in this field in a course that actually sets up relatively nicely for him, and I just can't do it. I just had to point out that it's poor Martin.
I think the most appealing of anybody in the 9Ks is the cheapest of them. I think it's Victor Perez.
Oh, yeah.
In the homeland, coming off a win 2 weeks ago. I think he snuck around and ended up making the cut last week. I know he was very close. Yeah, 57.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I used him in a handful of lineups. He did
He had
his
an
job.
awful Thursday, and then he came back, I believe, on Friday and did well. But, man, outside of that, I don't see myself touching anybody in the 9K range.
No. If Dietrich's irons, I don't know. Or not iron, sorry. He's historically not accurate off the tee. He has been of late, semi-accurate, but I can't do it. And he lets you down every time you play him, it seems. So
Yeah, I think the guy's uber talented, but he's priced like he's better than he is. So not for me.
Agree, because then this upper 8K range is where I think you're going to have to make some hard choices, and this is where you could win or lose or blow up your lineup. Because we just talked about Perez. Southgate at 8-9 is very much in play. Sharma's very much in play, especially after, he's popped on. So it was Wentworth, and then last week, obviously.
Yeah, he was.
I wish he was a little more accurate, though. I guess he's not terrible. But irons, though. Whew.
Yeah, he led the field in approach and strokes gained ball striking last week. I think he's a fair outright number. I don't know if I have to jam him into lineups, because I do think people like Southgate, or even if we get a little lower at Aaron Rye, are statistically set up better to play the course. But yes. I'm for sure going to bet Sharma, because I think the upside.
He already dropped 2 from Open, so.
How about sneakily Stu Manji in this field?
Yeah, him and Hudson Swafford.
But you know what's interesting, though? I think Stu last week had the best finish he's had in forever. He was top 10 at Houston.
Do you think he just wrote somebody and was like, "Hey, I'd really love to play your tournament"?
Did you hear about someone did that? It was
the Houston Open.
Shotgun start. It was Rich Beam.
Yeah, it was Rich frickin' Beam.
Yes. One of the best moments, though, is still Rich Beam cashing that head-to-head at the at the U.S. Open or PGA Championship?
With all the tour pros.
I'm looking forward to that already next year. He literally won that head-to-head by 20 strokes.
It's just weird. Stuart Singh doesn't play Europe events. Literally, the last 3 years he has not played a European event. He just had to go back through Korn Ferry.
The last time he played a European tour, a tournament overseas?
I'm gonna guess it was an Open, probably the one he won.
No, he finished.
Oh, I guess he gets 5 back.
Yeah, he finished 20th this year in the Open Championship.
Yeah,
that's kind of wild, because he was dead before that too.
Yeah, it's very.
But
strange.
If they would have priced him at 7,300, okay, but 8,500, that's a
right. It just goes to show you how much better just PGA players are than these fields. But
yeah, I don't hate it, but I don't see myself really going there.
No, I normally tell people too, like when PGA guys come over, you play them. Like
Yep.
that's just normally they're underpriced because they're thrown in a field. Nobody else really knows how to grade them, and they're bumped. And we did it all year and made money off Answer in Ireland, Putnam in Scotland.
Yep.
It just happens, and sometimes they miss. Obviously, it's golf, but yeah, I mean, and normally I would do it, but this price, like, yeah, they said he was coming over here, and I was like, oh yeah, 7,200 for Stuart Sink in France. I don't know, not the best, but maybe. Wrong.
What about
He was invited though. He is under the category of professional tournament invitations.
Okay.
Him, Swafford, your boy Hogard,
Oh.
Shinkwin, Rithammer, and some
How is
French guy's name.
Shinkwin
not
not getting a spot?
The European Tour their entry list is odd.
Well, 'cause
Like some of these
guy,
exemptions and where they place them.
Another guy like that's right there that I'm interested in is Goss Gay, and he wasn't in the field last week. He had to clamor on Twitter to get a spot, and they finally got him in, but he didn't get to show up till like Wednesday night. But he was I think he's like top 40 in race to Dubai, and he's out here not getting a spot. And then
I think it was Miller who pointed it out. Like if Bob wasn't like 12th or wherever he was in the race to Dubai, like he was not inside like the Rolex Series field, but because he was the leading member who wasn't qualified, he got in. Or something stupid. Like
it doesn't make any sense.
It's so odd that you don't have these guys who are in the top 15 that like there shouldn't ever be a question of them getting in. Like the PGA Tour, the guy who's in 40th in the FedEx is probably in your field.
Yeah, every week.
Near the end of the year. Like this is near the end of the year. This isn't the beginning of the year where these guys have played like 4 events in their 40th. Like that's my rant. I was looking through it the other day and what started it was like I know Guido hasn't been the most consistent golfer in the world, but he's like 45th in the race to Dubai with 2 wins on your tour. Just odd. And I know they're awful events. But.
Staying in the price range, just we brought up Shinkwin. Like any interest there? Like he's phenomenal off the tee, but is his off the tee game just due to his distance? I know he's extremely long.
He's not. He's semi-accurate. But what was the withdrawal about?
I don't know. He's had 3 withdrawals in the last 6 weeks, and coupled with 2 top 10s when he didn't withdraw.
Yeah, and I just got shanked on a withdrawal with Matt Jones last week, who also had been withdrawing like a son of a bitch. Played 4 whole rounds, did well, and then withdraws again.
I mean, at least you got one round. I had Besan who withdrew after lock.
Yeah. Shinkwin's long-term accuracy weighted is negative.
Okay. I don't need to force it there. I did see some early love, and people talk about this being a little linksish. It's open, and if there's windy, it could play linksish. I heard a little talk about Ryan Fox as he's reappeared a bit. And I know like he's dominant on links courses, but
he's the least accurate player in this field.
I was gonna say like I don't see myself going there, but I saw some people jump on the outright number already, and he finally had a good week back. But yeah, that's
absolutely not.
No
not
go for me there.
I think people are nuts, and I think people get too aggressive with the throwing links courses around. I'm not very what's the word I'm looking for? Snobby. I'm not too golf snobby on many things, but when it comes to calling things links courses, I am, just because there's a very unique setup to them, and just because there's wind and no trees doesn't make it a links course to me. Like even Pebble Beach. Now I'm just ranting, but fuck.
Yeah, no, I get you, because it seems like literally every other week, you pull
it just does me no good to look at people who did well in Ireland, Scotland at the Open, British Masters, and then compare. They're not this course.
Correct.
They don't have rough like this. They roll out. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have water like in play on half of the holes. Like yeah.
Texas courses aren't links courses because they're windy. Like people try to put that shit on Trinity too. It's like stop, please. Okay, end of my rant. I didn't talk about Southgate. I don't believe.
No, we didn't. I didn't either. Yep, love them.
Yeah, Southgate rates out very well. Feel free to plug him into your lineups as
Southgate, Rye, and then I'll just lead us right into where is he? How cheap is he? Is he that cheap?
Yes, he is. He's 7,500.
There's three people when it comes. We talked about this before, and we literally went back and forth, and we named the first three people that come to mind. I mean, if you're betting Matthew Southgate, it's a three-man race that you always kind of jump them together. You know, if Matthew Southgate's the top of that list, there we're looking at it's Aaron Rye, who always falls into these accuracy courses. He's great on just getting into the fairways, 2 gloves. He does phenomenal just getting tee to green on these difficult courses. And then if you're betting Aaron Rye, it seems like Ashley Chesters has to be the next one on that list. Ashley Chesters has done well at Valderrama, difficult tracks. He is so accurate. And I trust those guys. And he's super cheap, you know. So, I mean, you're getting him at 7,500, 80, 90 to 1. I mean, Ryan Southgate are in the 50s. So I loop all three of those guys together. I like them all.
Yeah. Obviously, you know I'm on board. We named them just to quiz each other. Essentially nailed it. So, yeah. Accuracy equals Chesters, Aaron Rye.
Yeah, I would say also 7,600. I think Dodo Molinari is a great play. Played well, beat out his brother last week in the homeland. I think Wiley was the one that tweeted that maybe Dodo's the better Molinari. Doesn't have a lot of success at this course though at all. But I think this
in
year,
fairness, Tiger broke his brother. I mean,
yeah. I mean, number 12 did him in. But yeah, I think that getting Dodo at 7,400 is an interesting play. I like Donaldson a ton at 7,400. I'm guessing you really like Scrivener. You always really like Scrivener.
Oh yes, I pretty much play him most weeks, even when I shouldn't. But this week is I could almost start lumping Scriv in there with Rye and Chesters. I mean, he's very similar.
He might be going a little too far there, but
great irons, not as accurate, but what he avoids the mistakes
for sure.
He is very good bogey avoidance, and so is Aaron Rye. So that's why I kind of lump them together. They may not like pour in the birdies, but I don't think they necessarily have to.
Victor Do Besan is somebody who's intriguing. Again, we're back in the homeland for him too. Been interesting this year because he is a habitual withdrawer. So he's withdrew 2 of his last 4 events as well. Still on a medical exemption, so that's why he gets into all these events. Might be a little overpriced to his relative talent, but kind of the stat level side of things, I think he's a decent play.
Yeah, and did we talk about Shinkwin before my audio issues?
Yeah, we did.
I didn't know if I was going to have to rant again, so I was just making sure, saving the people a little bit of time.
Yep.
I'm not an idiot, folks. I apologize. We had a little audio malfunction during the process of recording this, so I don't remember exactly where everything was talked about, and I got to piece it all together.
No, you're good. I mean, like it's tough though. Like after those guys, I mean, I don't love like anybody under Donaldson. Maybe Jack Singh Brar is okay.
I highlighted Ashan Wu.
Oh, okay.
So 94th percentile in approach over the last 26 rounds, 80th percentile in weighted off the tee, 80th percentile-ish in bogey avoidance as well the last 10 weeks. He's not very good off the tee, so as far as he doesn't gain a lot of strokes there, it's because he's a shorter hitter, but the irons have been there all season for him over 66 rounds, 88th percentile in this field, 80th in accuracy. Longer term, the bogeys have been a little bit of a problem, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird that his green and regulation numbers suck ass for how good his approaches are. So he must either stick it or he misses a green.
Yeah, I mean, I never like have. I think Wu's like an interesting guy. I mean, he was a winner last year. Yeah, I guess I don't hate it. He'd probably be the next guy outside of Singh Brar I have a little interest in. But man, it gets ugly quick down here in these horrible fields. I mean,
what about our boy Gags?
I knew you'd say something about Gags. You wanted to play him last week. He's cheap.
I did not play him because I couldn't.
Yep.
I honestly don't know how he did last week. Didn't pay attention.
Oh, no, I'm pretty confident he missed the cut.
Okay. See, feel better. That's why I didn't want to look.
Oh,
I knew he wasn't in the top 20, though. So.
Last 5 events, miscut, second.
Beautiful. Yeah. Look, season long, this course fits for his game profile.
If you had to guess, how old is Lorenzo Gagli?
29.
34. I would have guessed like 26. I had no idea he's been around. He had 11th place here in 2011. I would have never thought he was that old.
He's got a lot of guys who just hang around on the European Tour. Like our boy Yako.
Like, yeah, I mean,
not really our boy.
It gets bad
just
down
talked
here.
about him on Shotgun Start, and it made me laugh.
Your mic's going a little in and out, but make sure. Let's see here. I'm trying to look at anybody down low. There's
Honestly,
nobody.
I don't have much. I mean, Gregory Bordy in the last. It's only been 2 rounds, so scratch that. Yeah, I did not highlight anybody down here. Like it. Yeah, honestly, Sky. Yeah, down here, I just don't see anybody. And nothing really ticked any of the boxes for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to see people that have popped up with finishes. Like Justin Walters finished 10th last week. He was the first round leader, I believe, at the Alfred Dunhill. Like he's someone that's flashed a little light. The last couple weeks, we've had some of these like national invites with Samuel Del Val finished second, or I think finished third in Spain, and then Laporta last week finished top 10. I don't see anybody of that caliber that really either has course life or doing something exceptional on a mini or challenge tour. I mean, Boniol, I don't even know how Cyril Boniol, I don't know how to say his name. He's the only one that has like any decent finishes lately, but I'm checking the tour. It was on, it's on the Chinese tour. So, I mean, we're really dumpster diving down there. So your point of not playing the guys up top, I mean, even like our boy Pedro Figueiredo, like, you know, we get him in Portugal, I believe, in next week or coming up soon, but I don't think I see myself going anywhere down here.
No, I'll honestly, it's the bottom of this field that's going to dictate who I play at the top of this field.
I mean, that's extremely fair. I guess if I would say that my favorite person would be Alejandro Canizares, if I'm picking one. But
I don't even want to pick anybody.
I don't think we need to. So, no, man, I mean, I don't know where ownership is going to congregate. I don't really know what is going to happen in the super weak field, but, you know, they priced it, I would say pretty decent. I don't see like horrible misprices. So I'm ready for it. Another tilt sesh.
Oh, yeah. Nothing better. And 9 Bridges is at night, too. So all the tilting can be done while you sleep.
I mean, we might as well
just
hammer.
Wake up.
Yeah, you might as well not sleep.
Wake up and start your day in the toilet. It's amazing.
I mean, you might have to add some LPGA in there so we have some daytime sweats.
I already bet. I got some LPGA bets in on it.
That's my guy.
But they're also in Shanghai. So
oh, gosh. Champions Tour. Are they on this week?
That's the one I don't follow at all.
Our boy Ken Duke was up there for a little bit, too, last week.
I follow Ken, but I don't pay attention other than, yeah.
I think they're off, too, oh, no, they're on. They start on Friday. Yeah, man, we have some late nights and early mornings. I remember this week well, so.
Yeah.
Well, it's good.
It's a shame DraftKings just can't get paid out before NFL.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
All right, everybody. Hopefully that helps. As always, you can find Sky and myself on Twitter if you have any other questions. I apologize for some of the audio errors that may or may not have happened during this taping. Hopefully, overall, though, we were able to help you out. Again, you can find us on Twitter if you have questions. You can go to Fantasy Golf Bag. If you're a premium member, you can find both of us, including Drew and Jacob, in the Slack chat. More than happy to answer any of your questions. And you can sign up for the European Tour Premium membership. Get all the stats we just referenced for yourself. You can download them, manipulate them, do whatever you want with them. They're there for your pleasure. So hopefully we see some green screens, and good luck.